Now, the wait is over. People who own Ripple and XRP no longer have to worry about the CC case that followed them for years. This legal fight was one of the biggest problems Ripple has ever faced, and it had big effects on the future of XRP. Say, but now that the case is over, Ripple can focus on what really matters, making XRP a bigger part of the global financial system for people who own it. Now that the legal doubt is gone, this is a huge turning point. Ripple can now speed up its plans for XRP adoption, use, and value. For the past few years, people have been wondering if XRP would make it through the legal battle and what the outcome would mean for its future. Now that those questions have been answered and the way forward is clear, what does that mean? This means for people who own XRP, how will Ripple use this win to make XRP even more valuable? Ripple has been waiting for this moment to build new partnerships, increase its impact, and solidify XRP place in global finance. Now that the SEC case is over, Ripple can focus on the future without having to worry about legal challenges. Now is a very important time for Ripple to set the direction, for it's an exciting time for people who hold XRP. If you've been following the case closely or are a new investor wondering what will happen next, now is the time to pay attention. Ripple's strategy going forward will shape the next chapter of XRP story, and it will be one of the most exciting times for people who hold XRP. Get ready, because Ripple has big plans. Plans now that the SEC key is over, we can start to understand what this victory really means for Ripple and XRP. For years, the legal fight has kept XRP from reaching its full potential. Ripple hasn't been able to grow as much as it would like to. It's not clear what its regulatory position is. But now that the court ruled in Ripple's favor, everything has changed because the law is clear. Ripple doesn't have to fight the CC anymore, letting the business focus on what it does best, increasing XRP role in world business. The next things Ripple will probably do right away are likely to be to expand XRP into new areas, get closer to companies that get money. One of the most important things that came out of this win, is that Ripple can now work with banks and financial businesses more freely. Worldwide, XRP has always been seen as a bridge currency for cross-border payments, providing a faster and cheaper alternative to standard methods. Now that the legal cloud has been lifted, Ripple can look for even more partnerships. Continue adding XRP to the world's financial system. This could lead to businesses and financial institutions using XRP more, which would increase its demand. But Ripple isn't just focused on the partnerships it already has. It's also looking to make new ones. So, as of now, XRP is officially recognized as a real asset. This means that more banks can accept this payment. Providers and financial institutions can now work with Ripple without worrying about legal consequences. Ripple's next steps will probably be to make XRP a core asset in the financial world, and this victory makes that goal much more attainable. For global growth, and people who own XRPs are in for a wild ride as Ripple works on growing its partnerships and use cases. XRP long-term plan is beginning to take shape. The court went over the CC is just the start, and Ripple's plan for XRP future is full of opportunities. One of the best ways for XRP to grow is by being used in global payments. XRP is already used for cross-border transactions, making it easier and faster for businesses to send money to other countries. But now that Ripple has the legal authority to do so, XRP role in global finance is likely to grow even more. Ripple will likely focus on building stronger relationships with more financial institutions and payment providers to make XRP more useful, raising demand. There are more chances to make money. The role for Ripple in digital currencies issued by central banks could be one of the most interesting events. So governments around the world will look into the thought of digital currencies. CBDC Ripple is in a good position to be a major player in this area. XRP ability to make transfers quick and cheap could make it an ideal choice for countries that want to make their own digital currencies. And Ripple is already talking with central banks about this. Ripple may also be working on making banking services less centralized as blockchain technology improves. This could be part of their long-term plan. The decentralized methods from Ripple could be used for a wider range of financial goods, such as loans and insurance. This will make XRP a valuable asset in the digital economy as a whole for people who own it. This long term plan has a lot of room for growth. If global financial acceptance, the rise of CBDC, and Ripple's focus on decentralization all come together, they can make people want XRP in ways we haven't seen before. The path to long term success might not be easy. There will be better times ahead thanks to Ripple's win over the CC. XRP is now clearly on its way to becoming a major player in the future of finance, and users are just now starting to see the benefits. Right now, after Ripple's legal victory over the CC, there are both exciting possibilities and important things to think about. Getting rid of legal uncertainty makes the market more stable, which is great news. Great news for people who hold XRP. In the short term, we can expect the price of XRP to change a lot. This is because market confidence is likely to rise, which could lead to more investors jumping in. Long term, the price of XRP could go up if more people want to buy it. Ripple's work to get more banks to use XRP, especially for cross-border payments, is expected to lead to even more growth. As a utility currency and investment, XRP becomes more valuable. As more institutions and companies use it, this is because of Ripple's plans to increase XRP role, and if global finance works out, the price of XRP could keep going up and even hit new highs now that the SEC case is over. Now, Ripple can fully take advantage of these chances, and people who own XRP will benefit from more people using it. However, even though the future looks bright for XRP, it's important to stay careful because cryptocurrencies are inherently risky. Legal clarity is a big step forward, but market changes can still happen fast. The most important thing for people who own XRP will be to stay up to date on Ripple's progress. Keep an eye on the broader crypto market and follow the growth of their partnerships. Even though XRP is stronger than ever, market conditions can change, so it's always smart to be ready for them. Overall, this is a very important time for people who own XRP. The future looks bright because Ripple can now carry out its plans without having to worry about legal problems. People who own XRP should be hopeful about what comes next, but they should also be aware of the risks because the road ahead is likely to be just as bumpy as the one that got us here. Incredibly bright, especially now that the legal obstacles have been taken away. Ripple's next steps will have a big impact on the future of XRP, and they are setting themselves up for continued growth and influence in the financial world. XRP has more potential than ever to become a major player in global finance, and Ripple's strategy will play a big role in making this happen. One of the most exciting things about Ripple's plan for the future is that they will continue to focus on acceptance while making sure the law is clear. Ripple can now freely work with more banks, businesses, and payment providers to form partnerships. This will make XRP an even better bridge currency for cross-border transfers. More and more people want faster and more efficient